Mr. Edwards, a lot is mentioned about the 2% portion of the county bed tax money that is to go toward helping the area's lakes and waterways. Is that enough of a percentage, and should there be more bed tax money to help fund Chautauqua County's resources?
I will tell you that I oppose the additional bed tax dollars that were imposed on our local businesses, because the 3% that was originally assessed went from $250,000 to over $700,000 in just 3 years. With that kind of growth, it was my opinion we could invest that money appropriately. It was passed, an additional 2% on all of our folks that provide lodging for people to come here. That's provided income or money that is solely up to the legislature on how it's going to be spent. They determine where that extra money is going to go. I think it's been well invested when it's gone towards what it was intended for, and that was the improving the lakes, the watershed, and an opportunity to do that. The Chautauqua Lake Management Commission has been doing a fine job in moving that issue forward and spending those dollars. I think that everyone in the room would agree that Chautauqua Lake and the watershed is a prime economic engine for Chautauqua County. And so investing in that, helping it move forward, certainly makes sense, and I support the initiatives that have come out of that. I think that for the most part it's been invested well and is showing dividends. It has been able to provide some muscle behind some of the programs that were designed by the Chautauqua Lake Management Commission, including addressing the inflow of materials into Chautauqua County. We've actually been doing dredging in Chautauqua County. We've been building stream bank erosion projects, helping prevent it from getting there in the first place. So I believe that that is an appropriate use of the tax now that it's imposed on the restaurant or the hotels and the bed and breakfast and others that have to collect that money from the people that travel here and then turn it over to the county for the legislature to determine where it's supposed to go.
As a strong supporter of the 2% bed tax, because we need to take an aggressive, we need to take a bold approach to fixing our lakes and waterways, and if we don't do it, if we don't enhance our lakes and waterways, we're in big trouble. Now this last month, we had a decision to make in the legislature with phosphates. Mr. Edwards has yet to take a position on the issue, but you know, the water was black. People told real estate agents they weren't going to be back because the lake smelled and it's black. We need to take bold action. Now, Mr. Edwards is standing here today saying, well, I oppose that 2%. Well, that's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. He didn't take a position on it. And those of you who know that I taught political science around here, American politics, know that the legislature passes something and then the executive either signs or vetoes it. Well, Mr. Edwards chose not to sign or veto it. He didn't do anything. He just let it become law without any input whatsoever. He wrote the fence on it. That's not leadership, folks. That's not leadership at all. And now he's talking about the projects that are a direct result of that 2%. Now, you either don't support funding those projects, or you support them coming from the sales tax and the property tax. One of the two. You can't have it both ways. Now, we all pay a bed tax whenever we travel anywhere else. I think all of us realize that. And this is a mechanism where people that are visiting Chautauqua County are doing the same thing that we're doing when we visit their areas. They're helping to invest in lakes and waterways, which is critical to our tourism economy, critical to the development of our economy and our tax base. And so I don't know why the county executive refused to take a position on that issue, but he did. Now he has a position. It would have been nice if that position were around when we actually voted on it. Same thing's happening with phosphates. I took a position, a strong position in favor of restricting phosphates in lawn fertilizer. The county executive has yet to take a position on it. The county executive, in my opinion, again, we have a disagreement here, needs to be out front taking a lead on these issues. The restriction on phosphates and lawn fertilizer, that was an easy decision, relatively speaking. We have some big decisions ahead of us, and we need to have leadership in the county executive's office. The county executive needs to take the lead.
Mr. Edwards, 1 minute.
Well, there's a difference between leading and between dictating. And when you have as fragile a group as the Chautauqua Lake Management Commission, who we've invested $1 million in their efforts, you have to be careful that you're keeping this fragile group together because they have such good work to do. Now, you can dictate a result, or you can help support a group that's making a bunch of good decisions. That's what the Chautauqua Lake Management Commission is doing. It's unfortunate when an issue as important to Chautauqua County becomes a political issue because somebody wants to push a resolution so they can have it for their resume. I'm not referring to my opponent. Push it so that they can get a vote on a piece of legislation. They can say that they delivered just before an election. The issue here is that when you have a group that you invested $1 million in, who is within 60 days of delivering the comprehensive plan to address all of the issues relating to our watershed, where this is one small component. Why get out in front of that and potentially hamper the whole plan that needs to come together to support all the issues in the watershed?
Okay, I'm now going to go out to the audience if anybody has any questions on my
First name is Cam. Question for both of you. As college students graduate, how do you plan on keeping jobs in Chautauqua County and helping college students find jobs that are not listed anywhere that we don't know anything about?
Mr. Cornell?
Yeah, there has to be opportunity in order for us to list them. There have to be jobs available in order for us to list them. We have Chautauqua Works, which is part of the Workforce Investment Act that came down from the federal government. So Dr. Sue McNamara takes the lead on helping, and that's somebody that I would talk to. But I think you also need to be in a position where we're looking for promoting and focusing on business startups, so college students can start their own business and own their own business, and do so in a strategic fashion. So you have those opportunities available for you. But as far as listing jobs and knowing what jobs are available, Chautauqua Works and Dr. McNamara are a great source for you, and I would recommend that you seek it there. And they're right downtown Jamestown, I believe.
Thank you. Mr. Edwards?
As I did last time I ran, I agreed to concur and agree with my opponent when he says something factual that's accurate. The WIB is where you need to go, and that is the professionals at the Workforce Investment Board that constantly, in fact, I think it's 2 weeks, I get a listing sent to me electronically of the new jobs that are recently posted. So when I'm out there in the community, I have a chance to relay that to people. I've done that successfully over the last 4 years. When a job opportunity comes up and I meet a young person or a person who wants to come back to this region, who sends me an email or a call, I'm able to help them right there and encourage them and direct them to the WIB to follow through those opportunities. That's one opportunity.
My name is Ren, and I have a question for both candidates. And it's, from what it seems, is that industry and jobs are leaving the area rapidly. We're losing businesses, we're losing industries. There aren't any factories staying in the area. There aren't any large commercial businesses staying in the area. What are you doing to keep or bring in new businesses into the area?
It's an excellent question and an important one. It's difficult in this sense because you can't. My practice is not to pre-disclose economic development issues, but I can tell you that an example we can use is that when I came into office, the threat was SKF, one of our premier employers with a $70 million impact on Chautauqua County, was exiting Chautauqua County. What we did is we applied our professionals in economic development right down there to identify areas where the county could help support them and help provide opportunities through New York State, through Chautauqua County, and others to keep those jobs here. We've been successful in reversing the trend, which was moving from here to North Carolina. And we did that also by helping them locate their headquarters right here in Chautauqua County, in Jamestown. How do we do that? We worked with the city of Jamestown, the mayor, Mayor Tracy, I want to thank him for that. We worked with Jamestown Public Schools. We negotiated a quick removal of Jamestown Public Schools from the building there at Windstream, and they were able to locate their headquarters right here in Jamestown, preserving those jobs and a focus on Jamestown.